Hi, I'm Eric Boardman. We're kicking back today with Hacky Sack enthusiasts, a glass bead maker, and an old-fashioned ice cream social. Today on What's Your Hobby, we'll get a lesson in the sport of footbag and the activity of hacky sack. We'll also have tips on shaping your own glass beads in a flash. Then we found someone willing to share the secret to making delicious homemade ice cream. You might have seen them, groups of people standing around a circle, kicking this little bag around. It's called a hacky sack. It's a small thing, but there's so many things you can do with it. This hobby is sort of like juggling with your feet, or similar to dancing. It can also be very competitive. It's the game of footbag, and players like Greg Grandy are hooked.
When I first moved to California about 10 years ago, there were some people who played down at the pier, and they didn't just kick it one time and pass it back and forth. They would stall the bag on their foot, and they would do different tricks. And I didn't even know you could do that. And then it opened my eyes. I went, wow, this is cool. I want to try to do that. Okay, first of all, we have your basic freestyle bag. This is a crocheted bag, and you use this for the most basic freestyle. When you first start out, you'd want to use a bag like this. And as you get more advanced, you can go into a multi-paneled freestyle bag. You can see this is hand-stitched, and it's very good for doing tricks. You can stall it on your foot easily. And this is the more advanced freestyle bag. Next, we have your basic net bag. It's kind of like a mini soccer ball. There's 32 panels here, and it's a lot harder, so that when you kick it and spike it, it's going to go a lot harder and faster. And here's another type of net bag. You can see it's very similar, but it has a lot more panels and a different design on it, more triangular. And finally, we have the special glow-in-the-dark bag, and this one will have a little battery in there, and you can kick it at night, so you can play freestyle 24 hours a day. It's a great social sport. There's people who play, and you can go out and you kick with people, you go to tournaments, or just hang out in your neighborhood. And you meet all kinds of people kicking. It's fun. We have a footbag club here in Hermosa Beach. It's called the Oops Footbag Club, and we named it because a lot of times when you drop the ball, you go, oops, and we go, hey, that's a good name for a club. So we get together 2 or 3 times a week, and we'll kick freestyle, or we'll go out to the park and we'll set up a net set, and we'll play net too.
Greg loves the competition of the net game, where his skills are taken to the max.
Okay, in footbag net, you serve just like you would in tennis, so I'm going to serve to the opposite court. Here's an inside serve. Sometimes I use a toe serve. And lastly, I'm going to use an outside kick for a serve. Doubles footbag net is played with 4 players on the court, 2 players on each side, and you play just like volleyball. You get 3 hits per side. You have to alternate hits. You don't have to hit 3 hits per side. You can send it over in 2, but a maximum of 3. And you must have possession of the serve to score points. You play up to 15 by ones, and whoever gets to 15 first wins. The ball is small, round, and you're trying to hit it with your foot, and it's traveling over the net, at you at fast speed. So it's very challenging, and it's maybe a year or so before you even get good at net.
If net is the competitive side of footbag, then freestyle is the kinder, gentler game.
This is the sport of footbag freestyle. Here we use a softer bag. You get a circle of friends and you can just kick it around. You can start out, usually when you begin, you get a couple of hits each and you see if you can pass it around the circle. Then after you've been playing a few months, you can start doing different tricks like a flying clipper. The sport of footbag originated in the 70s. I guess there were a couple guys in Oregon, so the story goes, that took the inside of a pair of jeans, the inside pocket, they put some stuff inside there, stitched it up, and started kicking it back and forth. They used to call it hack the sack, and that's where hacky sack came from. Do some more difficult routines. The way to make yourself a better footbag player is just get out there and do it. And play with people who are better than you. That's key. You can always get better at footbag, and it's a great social sport. There's people who play, and you can go out and you kick with people, you go to tournaments, or just hang out in your neighborhood. And you meet all kinds of people kicking. It's fun. Outside here.
You don't always have to play footbag outside. Greg practices in his house.
Thank you. It's just a lot of practice. It's a lot of hard work to learn these tricks. You know, if you try it 100 times, the 101st time you're going to hit it. And let's get the left. You gotta work. And pretty soon you're hitting it all the time. Right. It's an amazing thing. And here's a little ingenious contraption we rigged up from the ceiling. Basically, it's a footbag with a string through it. We hang it from the ceiling, and you can practice spiking in the comfort of your own home.
This hobby might take a lot of practice, but that challenge is what keeps Greg going.
It's always difficult. It's hard to kick that little bag consistently and put it in the right spot. And when you're playing freestyle and you want to do tricks, there's always different levels of tricks you can do. So it's never boring, and there's always another level to conquer.
After 10 years of playing, Greg still loves the challenge and friendships that footbag has brought him. Don't go away, things are heating up as we learn to make glass beads.